Kenya's universities face a severe funding crisis. This crisis threatens the future of education and the dreams of many young Kenyans. For decades, the government heavily subsidized higher education. This made university affordable for many. However, rising costs and dwindling government resources have forced a change. This crisis is deeply concerning. Education is key to individual and national development. A well-educated population drives economic growth and social progress. However, if universities cannot afford to operate, this progress is at risk. The situation demands urgent attention and a solution that ensures access to quality education for all. The stakes are high. The outcome of this crisis will shape not just the future of Kenya's education system, but the country's overall development trajectory. It is vital for all stakeholders to engage in constructive dialogue and work towards a solution that safeguards the future of Kenya's youth. The time for action is now. The Kenyan government has introduced a new funding model for universities. This model shifts the burden of financing from the state to students. Students are now expected to take out loans to cover their tuition fees. This means costs are likely to increase. Many students view this as unfair. The government argues that the new model is necessary. Students argue that education is a public good, and the government has a responsibility to ensure its affordability. The new funding model has sparked outrage among Kenyan students. They have taken to the streets in protest. They argue that the new model makes higher education a privilege, not a right. Social media has become a platform for their grievances. Hashtags like #fees_must_fall and #education_for_all trend online. Students are demanding a reversal of the new funding model. They want the government to increase funding for universities. They argue that education should be accessible to all, regardless of their economic background. The protests reflect the students' frustration and anxiety. The online activism has amplified their voices. It has attracted attention to their plight. International organizations and human rights groups have expressed concerns. The student movement has highlighted the importance of affordable education. The protests and online activism demonstrate the power of youth voices. They highlight the role of social media in mobilizing action. The government faces pressure to address the concerns of the students. Section 4. Expert opinions, navigating uncertain waters. Experts have expressed mixed reactions to the new funding model. Some economists argue that it is necessary. They say it will make universities more financially sustainable. Others warn of the potential consequences. They say it could lead to a decline in the quality of education. There is concern that universities might prioritize profit over quality. They might increase class sizes to admit more fee-paying students. This could compromise the learning experience. The long-term impact on Kenya's workforce is also a concern. Some experts suggest alternative solutions. They propose increasing taxes on corporations. They also suggest exploring partnerships with the private sector. These measures could generate more funds for universities. The diverse opinions reflect the complexity of the issue. There is no easy solution. A balanced approach is needed, one that considers both the financial sustainability of universities and the accessibility of education. Section 5. The government's perspective, a necessary reform. The Kenyan government defends the new funding model. It says the old system was unsustainable. It claims that the government could no longer afford to fully fund universities. The new model, it argues, is a necessary reform. The government says the new model will make universities more accountable. It believes that universities will be more efficient in their spending. They will need to be more responsive to the needs of students. The government also highlights the loan aspect of the model. It emphasizes that the loans are affordable. It says that graduates will repay them once they start earning. The government argues that this will make higher education accessible to students from all backgrounds. While the government acknowledges the concerns raised, it maintains that the new funding model is the best way forward. It insists that it is committed to ensuring quality and accessible education for all Kenyans. Section 6. The road ahead, possible outcomes and solutions. The future of Kenya's higher education system hangs in the balance. The new funding model could have significant long-term impacts. If successful, it could lead to more financially stable universities. However, if it fails, it could make education inaccessible to many. The government needs to address the concerns of students and experts. Open communication and collaboration are crucial for finding a sustainable solution. The government, universities, students, and civil society must work together. The future of Kenya's youth depends on it.